Hey guys, I'm Chef Dean Max. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to do something really fun, really simple, Ratatouille. You guys have all seen the movie, but have you made the dish? And it's super simple, and I know if you got little kids that have seen the movie, they're going to love you making this for them. So let me show you how it's done. Click subscribe if you're not already doing that. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and ring that bell, and I'll send you new stuff coming up, and we're going to get back at it in 1 second. Okay, you guys, today Ratatouille, super simple. First, I'm going to start off. I've got some beautiful basil here. I'll put that to the side. But I want to take and make a cherry tomato base. Now, you could make your base for this out of many different things. Now, I have garlic oil that I'm going to use up. This is extra virgin olive oil that I cook with garlic cloves. You can click up here to see a video that I make like a garlic puree, which is great to have in your kitchen. Sometimes I'll have this garlic oil extra. So that's where I want to use this. And then I'm going to, if you don't have that, in this tomato, I'd throw a couple cloves of raw garlic. Okay, so 2 cloves of raw garlic. This is 1 pint of cherry tomatoes. And I'm just pureeing it up. Now, I've pureed it up enough where most of the skin of this is really kind of pureed into just a smooth puree. There's no chunks, no bits. It's beautiful. So with this, I'm going to put a little salt in that, okay? And I'll put a little pepper in it because I like to give everything flavoring like that, right? And then I'm going to put a touch of this garlic oil in it. If you didn't put the garlic, if you don't have this garlic oil, which you might not, just put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and then the garlic cloves. Now I'm just going to spin it to give it that flavor throughout, right? Now, I'll taste it. Tastes great, right? We're going to put salt on this later too, but you want to have flavor all throughout the dish, okay? So here I've got some butter. I'm going to take some butter and I'm going to put that in my pan like this. Now you can skip the butter if you want, whatever, for those naysayers, but you know, it's a great dish with butter. But literally in the south of France, they would probably just use olive oil. But I like it with butter. I just press it in like this. You see that? So that's super easy, right? Take this, wipe my fingers, because I got butter on it, and then, you know, I want to lick my fingers in. So I'm going to put this to the side. Now I'm going to take this puree, and I'm going to put this throughout my dish. Right? Okay? Done. All right? So, super simple, right? Look at that. You made it the easiest sauce possible. And then shake it. And now you got it flat, right? That's perfect. Now, all we do is do our veg. So, first, I've got some eggplant here. Now, I use kind of like a long purple eggplants just because I want the round shape for this one. You can use the big eggplants and quarter them or something. You could do that. But I'm going to show you, like later, we're going to shape this a little bit. Now, what I do to take some of the bitternesses out is I put water. So I've just covered them with water and a couple tablespoons of salt. You can see that this is turning kind of brownish, and that's taking some of the bitterness out. And I'll show you. I've got a mandolin. Now you can hand slice these like this, okay? This is how you would hand slice them, like this. 1, 2, a lot slower, right? Or if you get one of these Japanese mandolins, and I'll put the attachment up here as well, or actually I'm going to put the attachment below on the notes, so go check it out. But I'm going to take this, and you see how fast that is when you have this mandolin? Makes your life a lot easier, right? So with that, I'm going to press this down in that, and I'm going to let that salt water kind of pull out some of the bitterness in that eggplant. I'm going to set that to the side. Now, I've done this the same way with a yellow squash. So you have yellow squash here, same way, right? A lot easier because the skin on the eggplant's a little bit tougher, so harder to press. But you can see how simple this is, these beautiful slices, right? Love fresh yellow squash. Now, all you're doing with that, with zucchini, I'll show you. Cut off the end piece. Your mandolin's all set to the same attachment, so they're all going to be the same build. The only thing hard about this is watching your fingers to make sure that they don't become a part of the ratatouille, okay? So get to the bottom like this, and you see I left the top on it. Why? Because it gives me a little handle to hold. And now I throw that away, okay? Super simple. And that's your slicing, okay? Now with tomatoes, you can't do that you have to do that by hand. So make sure yours is nice and sharp. And because you're doing a tomato base, you could really just do zucchini, yellow squash, and golden squash and eggplant, well, that's fine. But I always like to put the tomato in there. Now what happens with tomato is this tomato gives off water, right? So what I always like to lay the tomato next to the eggplant. So the eggplant's sitting there all porous and dry, and it's getting cooked and getting even drier, and the tomato gets all sweaty, and it sucks the juice right off of it. So they're like a little pair made in heaven, right? So stick those next to each other when we put this together. So with this, I'm cutting these nice thin slices of tomato like this, right? Now, you could, if you wanted to, you could use potatoes. I wouldn't do it personally, but you can. I've seen people do it. Slice very thin potatoes, and then they put them in boiling water really quick just to cook them, just to tenderness. And then they take them out and they put them in here. And the potato gets a little crispy. It's kind of nice, actually. So if that's something you think you like, you can put it in there. This is not about making a traditional ratatouille. It's about the idea of these fall vegetables just being harvested this time of year. You're bringing it together. This puree, because we have tomato here, if you wanted to do red bell pepper or a piquillo pepper or something like that, you could puree that with a little olive oil and make pepper your base. So that's another option. Okay, now you don't have to have onion, but I like onion. And what I do is I cut the end of the onion like this, right? Let me move this out here so you can see it better, right? Then I cut it in half like this. Now I peel the outer edge, okay, like this. And I'll save that for chicken stock. Like I said, I always have a trash kind of one like that, a plastic container in my freezer that I take, because I always feel bad about just throwing those away. So with this, I have the root end here. I just cut it in half, so there's quarters now, right? And what I'm going to do, flip it this way, and I'm going to cut it thinly, slice it, not super paper thin, because I want to taste the onion nicely, And I'm going to just cut it thinly sliced like that, so I get these quarters, okay? And I do the same thing with this side here. Now I keep them together like this. So I can easily, I don't want all of these little sliced onions flopping all over the place. I want this to be a little organized. So this is kind of like your own little piece of artwork here. Now, there's two ways. I've got some basil here as well from my garden. I'm just going to leave it whole like that, and we're going to put that in here as well. Now, I want to do is gather all these things together. So let me clean up here. You got to clean your station, right? You got zucchini, yellow squash. I got my dish here, eggplant here. Now, I'm gonna drain this water out of the eggplant, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and now all I'm gonna do is alternate my dish, right? So with that, you can just stick, we'll start it here on the end, and we're just gonna stack these up. We're gonna stack them upright. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this. If you wanna do this in a square pan or whatever, some people like to just layer the same layer. So you could layer all eggplant, then all tomato. So as the tomato juice comes out, it's going to drip on top of the eggplant. The eggplant's going to suck it up happily, right? So you have this perfect marriage of losing juice, gaining juice kind of thing, and keeping it all moist at the same time. Then you have the yellow squash, all zucchini, all onion, and then repeat, right? So you could do it like that, but we're going to alternate each one. Now, this takes a little bit longer, but it looks really pretty. You're going to see, because you're going to see all the different colors. So with this, I'm going to take, and I'm going to put, So we're going to do this. We're going to actually do onion in between. How about that? So we're going to do eggplant, tomato, zucchini, or yellow squash, onion, and back to zucchini again. So we go from there, and then I'm going to do eggplant here. You see that, right? Tomato, yellow squash, onion. We take the whole piece of onion like that. You see that? Whoops, I don't want to do that. You got to be careful to keep it together. You got to pay attention, and if you want to do this pretty, if you don't care, then you can I would lay all the layers in together. Now, the only thing I forgot was what? I forgot my basil. So what I want to do is I want to make my basil a part of that too. So let's put the basil between the zucchini, or between the yellow squash and the tomato, because tomato and basil are always great together, right? So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take just the whole leaf, just like this, right? And I'm going to put it in between the tomato and my yellow squash. So it's going to just bake in there with it, all right? So you guys get the process, right? Super easy process, right? Eggplant, boom. See that? Tomato, boom. Basil leaf. There you go, right? Zucchini, or yellow squash, excuse me. I don't know why I always forget what the name of that is, because I shouldn't. Onion. See, I always do that too. If you don't cut it right, you got to cut it simple. Now, if you have small little cipollini onions, you could do a whole slice of that. It'd also be really nice. And then zucchini again. All right, so you guys get the gist. I'm going to do this whole thing. It's going to take me about probably like 5 minutes, and then we're going to show you how to finish it up. So stay with me. Okay, guys, after about, I don't know, about 10 minutes of me putting this together, you're going to follow your pattern, right? You've got, it's real simple. You've got your eggplant, right? You're putting your eggplant next to something that's moist. Tomato. Tomato's going to leak water out. It's going to suck it up. We talked about that. Then put basil, because basil and tomato are a marriage in heaven, right? It's going to perfume it, right? And then you're going to put your yellow squash. Now, against the yellow squash is dry too. What's going to be nice is when the onion gives off its moisture, and the yellow squash is going to get kind of absorb that a little bit, and then you're going to put your zucchini against that. So what you have here is this pile of vegetables that kind of help each other out. Now, if you did it any mix match way, it's fine. Don't worry. But this will help it to make sure that each vegetable is cooked evenly and properly. But they're really good raw, so who cares? Anyway, this is what it looks like. Look how beautiful that is, right? Now from this, I'm going to drizzle like a heavy hand of olive oil on top, because you can't have enough olive oil on this, right? And you want nice moisture on it. Now, another traditional thing would be thyme, dry thyme or fresh thyme leaves cut up. Because I have so much basil in there, I'm just going to leave it as basil. I have a lot of basil in my garden right now, so I just want to get rid of it. So, that's that. Okay, guys? And, you know, if you see some spots like here that could take some more pieces, just pop them in there like this, right? I'll just put them in. Extra pieces that you have sitting over here like this. Boom. And that's going to be fantastic. So with this, we're going to bake this beauty. Look at that thing. So we're going to bake this for probably, I don't know. I think it's going to take 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes at 375. So you want to go a little hot because you want them to sweat, and you want their juices to kind of, the water from their juices to evaporate, and the intensity of the juice and the flavor in the juice stay in there and kind of meld together. All right. So we'll be back in about 25 minutes to see how this does. See you then. Hey guys, welcome back. All right, here we are. It took actually about 45 minutes at 375, and this is what you get. So you can see how it's nicely crusted up a little bit here. All the vegetables are cooked all the way through. The juice that's in there kind of melted all together. And what we're going to do is, you can serve it just like that out at the table. It'll look beautiful. Look how beautiful that is for a buffet. So if you're doing some grilled lamb chops on the weekend or something out there, and you brought those in, you made a nice chimichurri, which I have up here as well. Click right here, you can go to that, and you can grill the lamb chops, put some chimichurri on it if you want, and serve it with this on the side. Great dinner. You can plate this up if you want as well. We could just take it like this. Let me show you what that would look like. So we'll take a little section of it, and we'll put it in here like this. Take another section. So you can make it really individual if you're cooking like fancy for, a friend of yours or a nice dinner. You could do that. So you can see how I kind of put that in there like this, pressed it down in my little ring mold, and bam, I pull it out, and oh, so good. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? So with this, you're just going to take it like this and have a bite. it really doesn't even need a meat. It's so good. It's so good. The olive oil, those summer squash and zucchini and eggplant, all those vegetables are so delicious. What a great dish. You guys have to try this at home, okay? And comment. Give me some comments down there if you have any questions about how to make this, what can you add, all that. You know how I am. I believe you don't have to follow a simple rule. There's some great ideas, right? The idea of a ratatouille is a great idea, but you can add stuff. If you have like really nice white trumpet mushrooms, sometimes I shave those and stick those in there too. They add this absorbent layer as well. They add pull some of that juice in, all the juice from these vegetables into them. So that's a nice additive. Like I said, the potatoes are a nice additive, but a lot of good things. I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and I'll see you back soon in the kitchen. I'm Chef Dean Max.